Hello, folks. The first 2 days of the Australian Open are in the bag. I'm going to break down what happened because there was a lot of upsets, a lot of good matches for some good players, and just a lot of excitement. So that's going to get broken down right here on The Slice by your boy, Stephen Bowden. This episode is brought to you again by our good friends at Cross Court Threads, serving up the coolest tennis gear for you to wear on and off the court and for the Slice to rock on the video. So we got the triangle tee back there and the hat. It's fresh and you can get 10% off of all their clothing by using the link in our description. So go there and check them out. Now, so the first 2 days are underway or out of the books or they're done and craziness has happened. Day one, I would say, was categorized by something I like to call the American Massacre. So I'm just going to go straight to upset alert on for day one because Venus lost to Bencic and Sloane Stephens, the U.S. Open winner, lost to Zhang. So obviously those are two huge knockouts for the women's American tennis game, and that's blowing minds all over the States, and fans are really disappointed because, you know what, they had such good years. Venus had a good year last year, couldn't win any majors, but it was right there at the end of most of them. And Sloane obviously came back off of injury and insanely won the U.S. Open. And they ducked out in the first round of Australia. But you know what? There was a ton of upsets on the women's side, and that's what happened last year. A lot of the seeds just got murdered last year. It was kind of just like open season on everyone last year. So many upsets that it started to not even be really upsets, you know what I mean? And then in the guys' side, Isner loses to Ebden, which I actually saw kind of coming because Ebden played really good in the lead-up tournaments to the Australian Open. He was playing solid tennis. And Isner can, if his serve's not popping, he's weak. I think that Isner, Raonic, and like Karlovic would, if the serve got taken out of tennis and everyone fed the ball in, I'm not sure they would be in the top 500. That's what I've been thinking about lately. It's like, would these guys, I think I might be able to beat Karlovic just rallying. That might sound stupid because I suck, but literally, if these guys' serves aren't working, they're going to lose the match pretty much 100% of the time. Anyways, he lost to Ebden, and then Jack Sock lost to Yuichi Sugita. And that kind of also makes sense because Jack Sock had a crazy run of form, and now he has all this extra added pressure on him and expectation. That can really mess with your mind. And Sugita, he's a seasoned pro. He's not young. He's actually an old pro, but he is really springy and really fast and has a pretty sick game. He's actually the first person I saw live to play a real professional tennis match when I was in Cincinnati. I walked in, I saw Sugita versus Khachanov. It was just crazy to see how hard they hit. And I was like mind blown. And I saw him beat Khachanov. Small guy, but he just obviously beat Sock and caused a huge upset in the bottom half of the top half of the draw. So yeah, that draw, because Rafael Nadal rolled, he gave 3 breadsticks. He gave him the old triple breadstick to his opponent, Burgos. Looked really good, looked really solid with the cutoff sleeves. That was kind of fresh. And Grigor Dimitrov won. He strolled past Novak, looked really good. He looked like those gross licorice candies. His outfit looked like the licorice candies that have like a pink and black stripe on them. You know what I'm talking about? Nike's just literally blowing it with the outfits this year, except for, which I find is hilarious, Federer and Nadal. It's like Nike's implemented like a class system in their tennis players. It's like Federer and Nadal get sick outfits that they're only allowed to wear. They're the only ones allowed to wear those ones. And then everyone else, Grigor kind of gets his own, but it's like really similar to all the other scrubs. And then everyone else gets the same outfit that they have to wear. And this year, I think it kind of sucks. And but it's just kind of funny. Nike really lets everyone know who the top 2 big boys are, which, I think is fair enough. Kyrgios also rolled. He won, got his first win under the belt, which is good. He looked good. His serve. He said he didn't feel as good as he did in Brisbane, but he's still happy. And good players often just work themselves into tournaments. They get past the first round because they're so much better than their first round opponent, or they lose in the first round like we saw here with a lot of the upsets. And then Ostapenko also rolled. So I think that for day one, the really good players on the men's side won. They all rolled, and it was good. Obviously, there were some upsets in Sock and Isner, but they're kind of on the cusp of being, they're not super dominant, I would say, yet. And upsets make sense in that case because upsets always happen. Because it's the Australian Open, and it's the wild, wild west down under. So day 2, the boy, Federer, got his tournament underway by looking pretty good in his first match. His forehand looked good. His serve looked good. His backhand, he wasn't playing as aggressive as he did in last year's Australian Open, which kind of makes me worry a little bit, but not really. He was doing some crazy stuff. That he's missing weird shots randomly, but that always happens in the first round or two for him, and he just shakes off this kind of rust. I think a problem for Federer this year in the tournament is he has expectation now. Last year, when he came out into Australia, we were like, "Hey, let's see if Federer can walk. Let's see if he doesn't need a wheelchair out there because we have no idea because he's been off for so long and he's so old." But he obviously came back last year and had an unbelievable year, and now he has so much expectation. I would say he's a favorite. He's a favorite for the slice to win the Australian Open. But I think Rafael Nadal's pretty much pulled on par because Rafael Nadal's draws really opened up with Isner going out. But still going to be tough. But yeah, there's this expectation on Federer, and that worries me because, he's expected to do well, so that might mess with him. Because I've been learning more and more, he's not invincible to pressure. You can see when he gets tight out there. It's insane to watch the best tennis player of all time get tight, but it happens. And I think that happens more when you have pressure and you don't play as freely because there's expectation on you. But he looked good. Also, which is sweet to see, Wawrinka and Djokovic won. So Djokovic looked pretty good against Donald Young, who's honestly trash, not going to lie. Donald Young's just good enough to always be in the first round, I think. And then he just gets there and just so many mistakes. I don't know what's going on with him. He's kind of old too. I thought he's young, but he's kind of got there. He doesn't seem like he's really put it in with his career. I think he's just enjoyed a pretty mediocre professional tennis player's tour career, and good for him. But yeah, there's no way he's going to take out Djokovic, even though Djokovic, I didn't see the full match, but he looked good, but we're going to have to see some tougher competition for us to see really where Novak Djokovic's game is at. Wawrinka won, which is kind of encouraging to me because I really like Wawrinka, and I think he's just good for tennis. He's such a fun player to watch with his backhand, and we don't really know how his body's doing either, but he could have lost, but I'm glad he made it through. Now, Canadian watch. So people, after I did my draw breakdown, I didn't mention Milos Raonic in there. I kind of forgot, but it's because he didn't really come up in my mind as a threat. And people were commenting, you're sleeping on him. You're sleeping on him. Sancor P from Canada, I'm assuming because there's a Canadian flag on his thing, said, I'm sleeping on Raonic. And it looks like I was sleeping on him for good reason because he lost in the first round to Lukas Lachko. And he looked like trash. He didn't look good at all. And the reason I was sleeping on him because I saw him lose to De Minaur, and he also didn't look good against De Minaur. He looked like overweight, not ready. And that's basically what he said after the match. He said, I wasn't ready physically. I wasn't injured. What he's trying to say is I wasn't fit enough out there. You have to be very fit, believe it or not, to win a 5-set match in the Australian heat. And it looks like he wasn't able to recover after his injuries and his surgery last year in time for the Australian Open. So it's not that I think he's trash. He just wasn't ready. Clearly. That's why I was sleeping on Sancor. But thanks for realizing that, I was kind of right. And saying that on the comments, I got you. Eugenie Bouchard won, which is unreal. There you go, Eugenie Bouchard. That's a win. Win under your belt. Unbelievable. So let's see if you can make it 2. And then maybe we'll start talking about maybe having some chances to go deep in this tournament and getting your form back. I really like that. You won a match. That's pretty crazy. And Shapovalov won. He beat Tsitsipas. I think that's how you say it. Tsitsipas, from the guy from Greece. Battled the one-handed young backhands. And Shapovalov won. Looking good. The Canadian game is being carried right now by Shapovalov. It's been pretty much carried solely by Shapovalov since Montreal last year. He's been the only Canadian player to do anything except for Bouchard won a match for the first time in a long time, and that's a good thing for her. So for day 1 and day 2, lots of excitement, lots of upsets. If you're a Nadal fan, you should be really stoked. Nadal looked really good in his first match. Gave out the old triple breadstick, and yeah, he's looking dominant. He's got his sleeves cut off, and I think that's going to give some nightmares to Federer fans out there. Djokovic is looking pretty good. Hope his elbows. I just want him to not have any pain this tournament and him to just play a good tournament. And I want to see some classic matches between Federer, Djokovic, maybe Djokovic, Nadal. They can't meet until the final, so that would be pretty crazy. But yeah, the Australian Open started awesome, and I can't wait for it to get going hotter and bigger matches to start coming up. I don't think if you're a Federer fan, it's definitely a positive after the first match. He looked pretty good. You can't really tell, though, until he's going to get some tougher competition. Jan-Lennard Struff is his next opponent. Can't really see that being a problem, but Sam Querrey, I think, is after that. So that could be his first real test, I think, and that's really where we're going to see where his game's at. But he looked unreal in the Hopman Cup, and I think he's going to be strong, and he's going to get back to his aggressive style that he had last year. So Federer fans, Nadal fans, Djokovic fans, Wawrinka fans, all be happy, and look forward to this week progressing on. go to theslicetennis.com to vote for who you think is going to win the men's tournament. We got a poll up there. I voted for Federer, and other people voted for Federer, obviously, as well. But you can go there, leave your vote, and leave your pick in the comments about who you think is going to win, who looked good, who didn't, which upset surprised you. Comment about that. And if you like this video, leave a like. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned to the rest of this Australian Open for more videos about this sweet tournament that's kicking off the 2018 year, which I think, as I've said a million times now, could be the best year of all time. Thanks for watching. And thanks again for watching, folks. If you want to buy the Slice Ringer t-shirt, the retro shirt to rock at tennis tournaments around the world, which will make you be noticed as a tennis expert, you can buy that at theslicetennis.com under the shop tabs. So thanks in advance for jumping on the team and rocking one of these sick tees. It's got like this on it's got this on the back. You know, I designed it. I like making clothes, and I like making clothes that fit you well. So, you know, take a look at maybe buying one of these. Also, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Tweet at me during the tournament, and we can talk about the matches happening. And follow us on Instagram for sweet content being posted daily about the Australian Open. And just keep doing you. And thanks for watching The Slice. See you next time.